Good morning and happy Sabbath to all of you. I thank God for giving me this opportunity to come into the house of the Lord and take His name upon my lips. I'm so thankful to God as He has kept everyone safe through the week. As we are celebrating the children's ministry, and I want to thank God for keeping each and everyone safe. This children's ministry program is especially for teenagers, children's youth, and today the topic of my sermon is that God has a great purpose for everyone's life, especially for teenagers who are finding the purposes in their life. And I want to encourage you today that God has purpose for everyone's life. We just need to realize that God's glory, God's power in our life. And sometimes we just think that we are here to go to school, college, to have our friends, to do parties, to do all the other activities. But I can tell you that God has marked you an influence on this earth. Sometimes we don't appreciate what God has given us. Sometimes we don't see the gifts and talents in us. But we see others exceeding. We say that look how those people are exceeding in this world. They have such a great personality. We can see they have got such a great personality. We can see it in others, but why we can't see it in ourselves? It doesn't mean that those talents and gifts are not in ourselves. It's there. God sees in us. God sees those gifts and talents in us because God is the one who has only put those gifts and talents in us. The Bible says when Jesus went to earth, He let the captives free and gave the men gifts. Do you know He has given all of us the gifts, all of us different kinds of gifts. We all don't have same kinds of gifts and talents. Everyone has different kinds of talents. Someone might be having a talent of singing, praising, preaching, teaching, studying well, and all others. And we have to recognize our talents. We've got to be able to recognize our talents. We've got to know that our gifts are here for a purpose. We've got to appreciate our gifts that God has given us. So I'm going to tell you the story about Moses, how God chose him, that he was not ready. He was saying to God that I'm not the right man, you have not chosen me, that you have not chosen the right man. But however, God chose Moses. So Moses, he was raised as an Egyptian. He ended up fleeing to the wilderness and he was there for 40 years. God one day appeared to him in a burning bush and said, Moses, I have an assignment for you to carry out my people out of the land of Egypt into the promised land. Moses said, no God, I'm not the right man, you have got the wrong man. But God, he was knowing that to whom he was talking, and Jesus knew Moses because God was the one who has created Moses. Even God knows us because He has created us. God knows everything about us when we get up, the things we do, everything God knows about us. So Moses said, no God, I cannot carry out the assignment very well. You can choose some other. But God said, no, I have been shaping you from the beginning. So in Acts chapter 7 verse 22, we'll read that Moses was educated and in all his wisdom of the Egyptians, and he was powerful in speech and action. So here it tells that Moses was powerful in speech and action. It was far off what he thought about himself. It was a far cry of what he told God about himself. And isn't it interesting that what Moses didn't know about himself, God had others to see it? That it is like that we may not. It is telling here that we may not be able to see those things in ourselves, the gifts and talents We may not be able to see those gifts and talents in ourselves, but God, He sees, He had others to see it also. The thing is that we just have to ask God, we just have to ask God to show us those gifts and talents that He has given us. And see, we are not here by accident, and neither are you. God has chosen all of us for a purpose. And we all may be going from different seasons in life. Many ups and downs comes in our lives, but all we just have to glorify God's name. He has given us assignments, and we need to fulfill those assignments. God says to us that our life matters. Especially this time, I just want to say to those teenagers, like, this is very tempting stage for each and every teenager. As some people are in this season they're committing suicide. This is the main purpose. The why they're committing suicide is they don't know the purpose in their life. They just get emotional in those little things. They don't know. But God says that we have a purpose in our life. Just ask God, pray to God that Lord show us the purpose that we have in our lives, and He will surely show you. Invite Jesus into every area of your life. So you see, the first time Jesus met Simon Peter. Simon Peter was the fisherman, and one day Jesus was walking up, because one day Jesus was going into. One day the crowd was following up to Jesus, and Jesus needed to push back a little because he needed a little break. And he saw Simon Peter and his crew over the sea, near the river bank, and he saw them washing nets because they had been fishing. Their boats were on the edge of the water, and Jesus said, "I need to get in your boat, Simon Peter." Jesus said to them, "Push me out a little way." And Simon Peter let him push him out the boat. And he was preaching to the people, but he needed a little bit of break. So he needed to get in Simon Peter's boat so that he could finish his work. You know, what does Simon Peter's boat represented here? Simon Peter's boat represented his office, Simon Peter's livelihood, Simon Peter's vocation. He could have said to Jesus, "Wait a minute, that's my boat. You can't get in my boat. That's only for fishing." But when the day Simon Peter let Jesus enter him in his boat, that fishing job, became more than a job. It became a calling for Simon Peter. When it is same in our lives, when we let enter Jesus into our hearts, it became a calling for us. Our life changes from that time. It became a destiny and a passion. Simon Peter realizes, no matter if I'm fishing or if I'm with Jesus, I'm going to do the work of God. Teenagers, especially for you, that whatever we are doing, if we are studying, if we are in whatever situation of our life, we should do the work of God. If you see, the Simon Peter was a fisherman, but that calling changed him into the fisher of men. So let God enter into your boats too. It means that let God enter into your hearts too. He had a great calling for everyone. And from that calling, your life will be changed into a whole new thing. Hope God will bless you all. Thank you.